So my first question for you, Dan, is did you watch these movies for today?
I have another confession to make, Ron.
Oh no.
I did this time. I did come prepared.
How could you? How could you do this to us?
I know. My postponement, or I guess my suspension from this podcast got lifted. So I appreciate that.
Well, you watched all 8 episodes of Alien Earth, right? Is your punishment?
I did twice, so 16 episodes.
What do we do now?
Now we rule.
What do we do now?
Now we rule.
Okay. At least you didn't have to rewatch all the Halloween movies again, right?
Oh, I did this year, Ron.
Do you do that every year for Halloween?
I try to. And then this year I only got up to the first Rob Zombie, and then I think I took a nap, and I woke back up, and I'm like, okay, I think I'm done.
So you got through Halloween 1 through 6, H2O. You get through those 7 movies?
Yeah. Oh, the last one. Oh yeah, H2O. Yeah, H2O was the last like good, decent one. Oh no, I even watched the one with Busta Rhymes.
Oh, I forgot about Resurrection. Oh my God. You watched 8 of
Yeah,
them.
Resurrection. Yeah, that. Yeah,
Oh my God.
I did. I do my due diligence every year.
I'm trying like every year for Halloween. I don't usually rewatch the same stuff. Like this year, like we were just trying to watch actual Halloween movies, not just like kind of general horror movies. We watched Cobweb. Have you seen that one? It's on Netflix.
No, I have not. No.
Cobweb's good. It's about someone's in the wall or something in the wall, and then parents are acting weird, and a little boy is like, why does no one believe me? And it takes place on Halloween, and it's all messed up. It's great.
Isn't that the plot to The Boy?
It might be. I've never seen The Boy, but this one's actually good, and it has.
Oh.
I don't think you watched The Boys, which ironically, The Boys with his Homelander in it. The guy who plays Homelander. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I saw the first 3 seasons. Yeah, of The
Okay.
Boys.
Yeah, Cobweb's good. You should watch Cobweb. Then I watched the original Halloween. I thought about the 2018 one or the original one because like 2018 is like obviously a faster pace. I thought my wife might enjoy that better, but then I didn't care. I played the slow original one and I enjoyed it better. So
Yeah, obviously the original Halloween. Exorcist is on my list. I watched that. I also started watching or finished the John Wayne Gacy. I think it's called Devil
in disguise.
in Disguise.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to watch a good, like, a better version of a serial killer story that's not made by what's his face that did the Ed Gein and then Bundy, whatever.
Ryan Murphy.
Yeah, watch Devil in Disguise a lot better than those two, for sure.
Ed Gein sucks. I gave up on it.
You did? Yeah, me too. Well, what's on your do you have any like movies you have to watch for Halloween usually?
My wife likes cutesy stuff, so we watched like The Nightmare Before Christmas, and she loves Hocus Pocus. And
Yeah, same.
I really don't like Hocus Pocus, but she loves it. So
The second one was really good.
I won't rewatch that one. That one's so bad.
I don't think I've seen it.
And then we were also watching Sleepy Hollow because I'm like, well, she punished me. She tortured me with Hocus Pocus, so I want to make her watch Johnny Depp faint 14 times.
I think we talked about that a couple podcasts ago, or maybe last year's end in review. I need to watch that one. That's on my list at some point to watch.
You've never seen Sleepy Hollow?
No, that was like early 2000s, right?
Mm-hmm. Speaking of early 2000s,
Perfect segue.
You're in my glass half full now, bitch.
welcome to Wasted Potential Podcast. I am your host, Ronnie, and with me for this glass half full or glass definitely half empty podcast is the one, the only, the hobacious of them all, the most vagrant of the vermin, Hobo Dan.
Hey, what's going on? I'm back, baby.
We're back.
I like the hobacious. Yeah, I'm gonna use hobacious as what words would you describe yourself? I'm like hobacious.
Very very vagrant looking. So we're doing this fun little podcast because Halloween just ended, and I don't know about you, Dan, but Halloween's like one of my favorite, holidays. Like an excuse to pretend like I don't watch horror movies the entire year and just watch them during this time period.
I'm with you. I think this is my favorite time of the year. So because I just binge watch when I have time all the horror movies I can, and then I slowly stop. And then during Christmas time, when it's supposed to be a joyous time, I watch more horror films.
And maybe we'll be back with another horror film for Christmas time. Ooh, spoilers, foreshadowing.
Or are we just doing a little bit of a tease for the audience?
Yeah, possibly. So, why we're here is we did our 4.5 hour long podcast on Alien franchise. Check that out. I'm proud of my endurance to edit through that. And I think it was a good one. But, like, the Alien movies, like, start out as horror, but then they become horrifying to watch, as Shane kind of put in the podcast there. But, we didn't really talk about kind of classic kind of horror movies for Halloween. And I know you love yourself some slashers. Is that correct, Dan?
You could say that.
Well, you literally rewatch all the Halloween movies every Halloween, which sounds like torture to me, but it's like your joy.
Yeah, I tortured you guys several years ago for the Halloween one. But, every year I try my best to watch all of the Halloween ones. And this year, I think it was the first year I didn't get through all of them.
My God,
I think I just got burned. I just got burned out.
Yeah, well, I haven't... Like, I rewatched the original Halloween this Halloween and last Halloween because it's just like my comfort thing of, like, my childhood. I remember that. And then... But I don't watch any of the remakes or any of the sequels because we watched them all 3 years ago and I don't need to rewatch them ever again. But you keep doing it, so you like have a kind of affinity for horror, at least specifically for slashers. I really don't, but I just so happened because they remade that. Oh, I know what you did last summer. So my wife and I were rewatching that remake, and it's god awful. And then it said, after Amazon says recommended for you, and it popped up like the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, and I said, oh, I've never seen that because it's notoriously really bad. And then I had the idea of like, well, what if for like this post Halloween, we talk about like 2 horror remakes and kind of, decide which one sucks less. So
Love it.
I'm calling like in our own kind of Freddy versus Jason, I'm calling this podcast Nightmare the 13th or Friday on Elm Street. Whichever one sounds better.
Friday on Elm Street.
I don't know which one sounds better.
Friday on Elm Street's like it sounds kind of catchy. I like that one.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is kind of talk about 2 remake films of classic horror films, and briefly kind of touch on them because there's not really much to talk about. And then we decided on 5 ways to judge a slasher / a slasher remake, and then we'll decide which of these movies sucks less. But I focused on Nightmare on Elm Street. Dan, what'd you bring to the table?
I brought in Friday the 13th, the whole franchise, or I guess the remake. But I'm excited for this because I think you and I have experienced or have seen one or the other more. So it's nice that they both made remakes so close to each other, and we can talk shit on them how bad that the movies are, and also maybe the entire franchise and how shitty they've gotten. But I'm curious to see Friday the 13th, your opinion on, I'm sorry, Nightmare on Elm Street. I keep mixing them up. Nightmare on Elm Street, the whole franchise in general.
Oh, you'll be disappointed. But before we do that, you mentioned it. They came out kind of back to back years, 2009, mine 2010. And it's because in 2003, Michael Bay had the idea of using his film company, Platinum Dooms, to kind of remake horror movies. So in 2003, they remade Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and then just a glut of remaking old like 70s and 80s slasher films popped up. They did the Amityville Horror with Ryan Reynolds for some reason.
Oh, God. I forgot about that one.
They did The Hills Have Eyes. I don't know if that was Platinum Dunes or not, but that they remade that. I think that was 2006. But that movie's horrifying, actually. They did The Hitcher. So they did a bunch of these. And then because horror movies like make their money back because you can make them for pretty low budget, they decided to get to the big name ones finally. And after the negotiations and the long history of figuring out who gets the rights and the money for all this, in 2009 they made Friday the 13th, or remade Friday the 13th. So Dan, do you want to tell me kind of like your history with the franchise and then dive us into a little synopsis of the film?
I kind of got more into Friday the 13th as I got older. I know it was always on, these movies, I think just like Nightmare on Elm Street, were always on TV somewhere. Like AMC or other channels. So I know I've seen them when I was younger. More Halloween for sure, but I got more into this franchise like probably in college. I think I use an quote unquote external source to download all these movies. Like I think I downloaded like the first like 6 at least. And then I saw the remake too, I think when Netflix first came out. And it's a love-hate relationship for the Friday the 13th because I think the whole franchise is the most unique, what it's done with this simple character. I think there's 12 of them overall. And I'll just do a quick little like up and down with this franchise where it's gone. The mom's the killer. No, the son's the killer. In the woods. He finally dies, but then now he can transform through spirit. Then he goes to Manhattan, goes to New York. Then he's back alive again. Then he goes to space. Then he fights Freddy. And then a remake. Like this, like no other character in the history of film has gone to New York and then also to space when this was just supposed to be in the woods in this remote area only. And that's why it's a love-hate relationship with this whole franchise.
So my question to you would be then, what's like peak Friday the 13th? Like what are some like the best movies? Because I had to tap out after 4. Like I did not really grow up watching these. Like everyone knows who Jason Voorhees is, like the mask and machete's iconic, but I think a few years ago, just for Halloween one year, just out of curiosity, I started watching them for the first time. I got to 4 and had to give up. I just was like, I just don't like slashers. Don't really do a lot for me personally, but I had to give up. So, in your expert opinion, where does Friday the 13th peak?
Oh, I want to say 4, because that's the one where it brings in Tommy Jarvis as like a kid. And then the Tommy Jarvis thing goes wild too after that. Just like the character, just like Jason as a character. I think 4 is probably the best one. And then from there, 5 is just an absolute shit show. It goes to peak and it goes to the valley very quickly.
I remember hating 3. I remember 3 was really annoying.
That's the 3D one. But everyone likes that one, I think, because there's some okay kills, but then that's where he gets his like hockey mask.
Yeah, and I remember at one part of the movie he takes the mask off and kind of like taunts him. I'm like, where the fuck is Jason taunting him with his mask off? It was just really, it was really weird. And then it was slow, and there's a barn. I remember that.
There's a barn, yeah, and I think that's the one of bikers, I think, or that.
Yes, there's bikers in that.
No,
one.
it's a one of bikers. Yeah, It's not as weird as 5, but 3 is okay, I would say. Most of these you can just say are okay. But I would say, what is it? I think Jason Goes to Hell. That one's a fun, dumb one to watch. Like, it's so silly and stupid, but it's a little bit different. But
is that the bug one?
That's that one I would recommend. What's up?
Is that the bug one?
What do you want from me?
Tonight we can get that bastard. Tonight we can send Jason Voorhees straight to hell for all time.
You don't need me for that.
Yes, I do. Only through a Voorhees can he be reborn. And only a Voorhees can kill him. With that,
No, I won't put my baby in any more danger.
you will always be in danger until Jason is dead. He won't stop coming for you until he gets you, until he's reborn. And then he will kill you. And your baby. If you want this to be over, if you want your baby out of danger, then you will end it now. Before more people have to die like your friends, like your mother. Because until you kill him, it will never be over.
Yeah, technically a bug or a spirit. I'm confused by that. Yeah. And then if you want to watch the most ridiculous one, you got to watch Jason X, obviously.
I've still never seen it. Maybe that's like one that one day we can do a commentary or something on. But I never. Friday the 13th was always like one note, and I think like what cracks me up because like I've seen like a super cut of like all the kills. I'm like, well, that's all I need. Like there's there's some fun kills. Like I'll never forget. Like I can't remember which Friday the 13th it is, but like he smashes a girl to death in like a sleeping bag. I think it's like one of the funniest.
Oh, that's the
things.
best one.
It's
Yeah,
so
I think
fucking
that's 5 or 6. Yeah, but I think that was one of my points was you could probably YouTube all Jason's kills and then you kind of get the whole franchise.
Mm-hmm.
I think he kind of created the creative kill. That's what we can talk about that more later, but that's probably the best part of his franchise is just seeing the unique ways he finds to kill someone, and brutal ways too.
Okay, so tell me about Friday the 13th, 2009. Unless you get something else you want to throw in first.
No, let's just get into this remake in 2009, directed by Marcus Nispel, whatever. He also did the remake why can't I think of these names correctly?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Thank you.
You do realize this camp was closed down like 20 years ago. But I'm pretty sure the way the story goes, some woman, she went nuts, killed all these counselors, blamed them for her son's drowning. The place was called Camp Crystal Lake. Jason? He came back.
My sister, she came camping up around here with some friends. She's gone missing.
She ain't missing. She's dead. People go missing around here. They're gone for good.
No! This wonderful film, it takes place just about like everything else, all the other films. A group of kids go into the area near Camp Crystal Lake to find a marijuana field so they can steal it or buy it off. I don't remember on that. But they go into Jason, they encounter him. Jason kills all of them, supposedly. A little spoiler there. And then a month later, one of the brothers of the girls that got killed is searching for his sister, encounters a group of course, teenagers that are in a remote cabin near Crystal Lake, or at Crystal Lake, I guess. I don't know I guess it is Crystal Lake. And they encounter Jason. Turns out the sister is still alive and being held because she looks like Mrs. Voorhees in some way. and then Jason kills them all besides a couple, and then they supposedly kill Jason, but at the end it shows he jumps out of the water for one last like little typical Friday the 13th fashion.
Yeah, that's a good question. I literally wrote that down because I don't have a lot of notes for this because for preparing, I watched the original Friday the 13th, then I watched the remake, and that was kind of it. That's all I prepared for that. And my first question was, where the fuck is Crystal Lake? Because, like, there's definitely like a redneck character, like very much a white trash southern redneck, but then there's also like this really fancy like affluent houses on Crystal Lake, like it's big and beautiful, but if there's a shut down lake, is it like a town? It seems like it's like Crystal Lake's like a town, right? Kind of like you know, like for us in Southern California, we have like, you know, like lake towns, mountain towns kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it seems like that's what it is, right?
That's my impression. I thought it was just Camp Crystal Lake, but I guess it's just an area or a town they call Crystal Lake.
Okay. Because in the original one, as we were watching it yesterday, I saw a New Jersey license plate. And in the original movie, the girl, Annie says, this camp's full of inner city kids, right? So it seems like, okay, well, they're like in the outskirts of New Jersey then. It's like one of those summer camps. I don't know. Did you grow up going to summer camp ever?
Did I? Could be repressed memories, but I don't think so. No, I never did any of that stuff. Did you?
I went to like Jesus-y kind of summer camps, but nothing like this where it's like for weeks away where you kind of ship off your little like Jewish kids off to, you know, camp to kind of get away from them for the entire summer. That wasn't ever something I ever did. It was like for like a couple days or something like that. So nothing that like this where you're away from your family for weeks.
That's got to be an East Coast thing, I think. I know people talk about it. They actually did that, but like,
sorry, I digress.
West Coast,
well, like our West Coast, like we have things called beaches that people actually want to go to, so we can go like do things that are miserable.
But what is your impression, Ron? Again, there isn't much to talk about for any of these films. It's simple and to the point. Like, goes, kills. There's some characters that run, creative kills. This one's got some interesting ones. Jason runs in this one, and he's a hunter.
Let's talk about that.
So
like this movie is basically a combination of like the first four films, right? Like they kind of take a little bit of everything. Because it starts off the very beginning with the ending of the original, where the counselor kills Pamela Voorhees, right?
This one? What do you mean?
Yeah, this one, like the very, very beginning of this is like a flashback to like the 80s.
I forgot. You're right. Yeah. They show the glimpse. Yeah. They show like they remade it to show that. Yeah.
The entire original movie is done in like 2 minutes. They kill the mom and then like a shadow of Jason, who's somehow alive. I never understood that in the original and in this one. How is Jason alive 20 years later and he hasn't aged in the original one? In this one, Jason's been living in the woods for 20 years and been killing people and whatnot, so I guess that makes a little bit more sense to kind of fix it. But Mrs. Voorhees thinks Jason's dead. That's why she's killing. He drowned because those dirty fucking kids were banging instead of watching him.
Hey, you got priorities sometimes, you know.
I let him drown. He's ugly. But like what I thought was interesting about this was like there's like I think they're smart. They wanted to use their kills as many as possible and like get that R rating and make it gory, because the first 20 minutes is like a whole movie.
Yes. And I did enjoy that they just kill off everyone that you think so, because the one girl is still living. But when I first watched it, I'm like, is this the whole film? Is this it? Like, I'm like, I kept checking the time because they just kill off everyone, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I get it now.
Yeah, when I like it because when I was rewatching the original, I was like, this movie's dark and boring. Like it's
1 and 2 are so slow, and then number 2 it shows the first 20 or 30 minutes is just showing the first one again.
I forgot about that. They do that in the Friday the 13th movies. The first 20 minutes of every one is a recap of the entire fucking film before. It's so awful. God damn, I forgot they did that.
Again, back in the day, like when you watch like the second one, people don't remember how the first one ended. So I think that's their thing. They showed how the first one ended to give them a refresher, but it's like I think 25 minutes or 20 minutes is showing the first one.
Yeah, because Friday the 13th, 1980 is such a complicated like backstory. You have to understand it by rewatching it all.
Of course.
In 15 minutes.
You got to show Alice surviving. Come on. Yeah.
But that's what I wrote down was like it's really dark. It's hard to see. But like this movie was a cash grab knockoff of Halloween. Like notoriously, Sean Cunningham has said that. He said, "Yeah, I wanted to remake Halloween. You had like those POV shots, and they didn't want to do." Like, Michael Myers. So instead they did, like, the twist is it's Grandma. Grandma is the killer, which kind of cracks me up that Grandma is chasing, I think it's Alice. It's really hard because a lot of these names and I just watched Halloween, I watched Friday the 13th, watched Nightmare on Elm Street. So it's like all these things, these names are forgettable. But it's super slow, which like the original Halloween is slow because it's like methodical to do that. But in this one, I was like, I can't see what's happening. So... But this movie doesn't do that. This movie is like, nope, we're going to immediately show you blood and titties and kill them and then start the entire movie over 20 minutes in by introducing a whole new batch of characters. And they go through a lot of the Friday the 13th movies. Like they replace the guy from, what do we call it? The guy from Supernatural and the girl go to the cabin. And instead of they see like Jason's mom's heads in there, kind of in like Friday the 13th Part 2, right? Mm-hmm. And then instead of a scarf, though, it's a locket this time.
Yeah, that's a little bit different, but I'm like, whatever, it's fine. But one thing I kind of complained about, I'm like, dang, Jason's lair is it used to be a lair. This one, it's a bigger cabin. I'm like, dang, that's what he's been doing for 20 years, eating rats and making his lair into a post-apocalyptic fortress with all gadgets and traps.
Well, that was interesting, was because it's like he lives in a system of mines, and like that's the joke is that's how he pops up wherever he wants to. He doesn't like in the original movie. He just always just pops up. Well, this one, the explanation is there's mines. My question is, did Jason carve out those mines, or is he just repurposing a mine that Kent Crystal Lake is known for some kind of natural ore? Like, did you kind of get anything out of that, or what?
That's a great question, Ron, and I don't have a good answer for it.
It's called Crystal Lake. Is it? I thought it was because it's like a very clear, like maybe they have special crystals that you use to resurrect zombies.
It's funny because there's always like rumored that he's like a demon or like he's a spiritual something. So maybe the crystals are what reason why he keeps bringing him back, or like he's still living. He's got these special supernatural powers. Yeah,
isn't that one of the Halloweens? Isn't Michael Myers one of the special like crystals in one of the Halloweens?
Yeah, I think it's the Curse of Michael Myers, which is the worst film in the history of the world.
Tommy, where is he? It worked. Power of the runes stopped him. Michael.
That's the one of Paul Rudd.
Want to know something funny? Is when we did that podcast like 3 years ago, that's the one I never watched.
Oh, I think you should watch it once. But again, there's two different endings to it. There's a theatrical and then also the director's one.
I remember that.
The one I rewatched, I think was the theatrical one, where it doesn't show the gems or like the stones in that one, but it ends just horribly stupid with Donald Pleasence saying, "I still have some unfinished business," and he walks in back in there, and then and all you do is hear him scream. and then show a Myers mask and a knife, and then it cuts to black, and it shows, and it says "Rest in peace, Donald Pleasence." I'm like, you pieces of shit.
Oh my god. I can't remember if it's 5 or 6 I never saw, because I can't remember which ones I've covered. I should have re-listened to our podcast, but one of them I didn't watch because I just didn't have the patience to watch it. But yeah,
it's that one with Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd plays a creepy guy,
like he does in real life.
He's playing himself.
Yeah, I like of horror remakes. My response is for this movie, because it's got like really bad reviews. But I'm like, what the fuck did you expect? Like, this is literally a Friday the 13th movie. Like, it's got literally everything you'd want. The kills are great. There's tons of boobs. Jason just cuts the shit up at people. You have a bunch of dumb teenagers doing dumb shit, and they get killed. So it's like, what more do you want?
It's simple and to the point, and it's what people that like slasher films or just Jason in general. It's a good remake for it. Is it a great movie? No, but like it's a Friday the 13th movie. It's not an Oscar winning something to rave about. So,
and honestly, because I'm not a fan of these movies, this is like one of the better ones. Like, because it's just like it's dumb and straight to the point. They don't spend 20 minutes recapping. There's no like pretension of like we're gonna actually do like jump scares. It's just like I'm just gonna cut up these kids while they're getting high and drunk and having sex, and yeah, it's like they do a little subplot of this guy's trying to find his sister. I think it's enough. Wait, isn't it the plot of like the third one, right? Isn't one of them, or a second one, right? Which Friday the 13th has like the brother looking for his sister?
Is there one? I don't remember.
I think it's part 2, right? Isn't like there's a guy, or is it Tommy Jarvis is living in the woods when he's older? Like, I remember one of the Friday the 13th, he's living in the woods and he's looking for his lost sister.
I know Tommy Jarvis comes back in the 6th one.
Maybe it's 4. Isn't
Make
it 4?
Sure he's dead.
Isn't it Friday the 13th 4? Isn't there like a guy living in the woods and he's looking for his lost sister? Whatever, fuck it.
No, the 4th one is when Tommy Jarvis, like, they're on vacation and he's staying in there, like, when he's little.
Yeah, but isn't there like a guy that guy tries to save him? I don't know. It's got Corey Feldman and a dog. I remember that.
Yeah, that's the 4th one. The 5th one is when like Tommy Jarvis is in that, like, what is it, the halfway house, and then the 5th one, which is again the shitty one, like it's Jason's not even in it. It's a copycat killer, and he's avenging his son's death, so he's killing everyone.
I'm not gonna watch that one.
Don't. It's absolutely bonkers. That's the best way to describe it.
But like in a bad way.
It's so stupid. Like it, yeah. Like there's some scenes in it. I'm just like, what are we doing here?
Stop it! You're gonna get it, bitch.
Oh, lighten up, demon. You'll feel a lot better after you shit.
I feel a lot better when I'm out of here. This shit box is gross.
Well, you better watch out for the snakes that's gonna crawl up that crapper and bite your ass. Ooh, baby. Hey, baby. Hey, baby.
Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby.
Hey, baby. Hey, baby.
Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh. Nita? Hey, girl, what's up? Hi! Okay. I told you this isn't funny. Now you're gonna get it, bitch.
Anyways, not to talk too much about the other ones. Again, I would recommend this one, like, to watch if you haven't seen a Friday the 13th. You get the whole franchise in a simple way in this movie.
There's a guy out there carrying 8 dead bodies.
Will bring trouble. Just won't be left alone. And so does he.
So does who?
Richie, stop fucking around.
So my turn. In 2010, Platinum Dunes and New Line Cinemas wanted to remake one of many people's favorite horror movies of all time, A Nightmare on Elm Street. So they got famous music video Samuel Bayer to direct the remake in which everyone looks like they're in Avenged Sevenfold.
Oh, nice.
It opens up with a character named Dean. He kills himself in a diner. And then we get introduced to all our main characters in the diner of Nancy, and then blonde girl, not named Tina. Then Quentin, who's Kyle Gallner. And also a kid named, I think, Jesse, who's an asshole. And they're all having kind of, it's not really fully clear, but all of them are having weird dreams and nightmares of something. I think it's Freddy, but not really kind of totally clear on that. And then they all can't sleep and they all get killed, picked off one by one. And it turns out that they're all being haunted by this melted face, kitty cat looking Freddy Krueger with knives on his hand for fingers. And they figure out that their parents killed the gardener when they were in preschool, but they don't remember it because the parents are hiding the pictures and acting like nothing bad happened. But they killed the gardener because he was allegedly doing inappropriate things with the kids. But then the kids think, what if they lied, because 5-year-olds lie? So then the parents killed the gardener, and the kids think that Freddy wants his revenge because they lied. And then they get lured into the preschool, and they figure out, oh God, no, we didn't lie. It was true all along. He was a diddler. And then the diddler tries to kill them, and then the movie ends awfully. That's called A Nightmare on Elm Street. And then the movie was so bad that Platinum Dunes stopped making horror remakes, and Samuel Bayer never directed a movie again.
Oh my God.
I'm having these dreams, and there's this man, and he's burned.
Don't fall asleep. It's your fucking nightmare.
Oh God. Dan, let's start with the original. Have you ever seen the original Nightmare on Elm Street?
I have. I just don't remember too much about it. I think I watched it last year or the year before. I watched 1, 2, and 3. Is 3 the one that's in like the mental institution?
I don't know. I've never seen any of them besides the original.
Oh, I thought you were the expert in this whole franchise.
I'm an expert on the first one.
Okay, deal. You're the expert here then now. Okay. Go back to the original question. I have. How about that?
No, I think it's funny because I notoriously have said, I think on our Scream podcast, that the original Nightmare on Elm Street sucks. And before I rewatched the remake, I wanted to watch the original one just to give it another chance because I've always said it sucks. And I don't think it sucks. I think it's an hour of really good low-budget horror filmmaking, and then the ending really drags on of like, I don't think they knew how to end it, but from what I hear, it's really hard to end these movies, and they don't ever really know how to end Nightmare on Elm Street movies. But I have seen 0 sequels. I never was a fan of Freddy, but I rewatched it. I said, you know what? I take it back. I was wrong. This is 75% of a good movie, and the last quarter becomes Home Alone and unclear amount of dream sequences, and I don't really like Nancy in the original one. But the filmmaking is really good, and there's a lot of cool like kills and a lot of really good atmosphere to it. So I apologize to Wes Craven and his grave. I was wrong. This movie, the 2010 remake, sucks a big bag of dicks.
This sucked. I tried watching it a second time, and I'm like, no, I get it. I'm fine. I don't want to waste my time. I've already wasted my time with the Halloween franchise.
Yeah, so like I was trying to think like how do I explain why it sucks? And if you compare it to the original one has like atmosphere where it feels creepy and dreamlike the entire time, where you don't know if they're dreaming.
Yes.
This movie makes it abundantly obvious when they're dreaming. It looks like very obvious, and it's just like the lighting changes, which I don't think is a bad thing necessarily, but it doesn't really have that kind of style. It has a style to it, but it doesn't make sense. Like, for example, the scene where it starts snowing in Nancy's bedroom. I'm like, why is it snow? Like, it should be ash because they burned down the warehouse. But then it shows like the preschool all fucked up and old. I'm like, well, they didn't burn down the preschool. The preschool's just old, and they shut it down because the gardener just magically disappeared. I guess I don't know. That's why the CGI looks like shit. It looks like they didn't have a lot of time to do it. And then the 80s practical effects look better. And like this movie literally takes all of the kills in the original one, kind of to an extent, and redoes them, but like with really bad CGI and very quickly without any kind of style to them. So the word I wrote down is everything feels inconsequential. Like they introduced this concept of micro naps where the kids, like if you are sleep deprived enough, your body will just automatically just knock you out because you need to sleep. But what that does is just give really quick like jump scares. And that's all it is just to kind of jump scare you to remind you you're in a horror movie. Like there's also another scene where the jump scare makes them get into a car crash. Oh, maybe the car crash makes them fall asleep. No, they just get out of the car and walk to the preschool.
Mm-hmm.
There's a scene where they try to get more, I think it's Adderall or Ritalin for Quentin because he's an ADHD kid.
Oh, at the store? Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought, okay, this is kind of cool because they all look like drug addicts. They all look like tired and they're like hallucinating. Mm-hmm. I thought, oh, maybe like that will lead to like him hallucinating in the thing, and maybe Freddy will be like the guy behind the counter. Nope, he just says, no, I'm not going to give you your drugs. He turns around and then Nancy's just attacked for a second. And then Nancy tries to keep herself awake by burning herself with like a cigarette lighter. I'm like, ooh, that's creepy. But then she just falls asleep anyways. Everything seems inconsequential of like nothing really.
You have this potential. You can work with this more, but then it just falls flat.
Yeah, and I feel like with like the lore of Freddy, there's more lore to work with of like kills you in your dreams. You have to stay awake, but they don't really do anything with that besides like Nancy's taken to the hospital. She's like, I don't want to fall asleep. Okay, well then she just doesn't, and they just leave. And just like nothing, it seems like we needed to hit all these beats of the original one, but nothing's like consequential to it. So it just feels like start and stop, and I don't know. It's just weird. And then we'll get to the big kind of plot changes when we kind of talk about our 5 kind of things here. But
it's like, my analogy is, it's like you're in traffic, stop and go, but then you get a little bit of like, okay, now we're going 15 miles an hour. No, we're stopping again.
Yeah. But because like they kill off like 3 of their kids in the first 30 minutes. So in the next 30 minutes, they added like these plot changes to keep the movie going. And then the last 30 minutes is that ramp up where kids can just get like stabbed abundance amount of time with no consequence, and they're just fine. Because all the other kids gets like one stab and die. So I don't know.
Just a flesh wound.
Yeah, it's so bad that it made its money back in some. Like, it made it back in the opening weekend, but it's so bad that it ended the entire Platinum Dooms remakes. Rooney Mara said, I didn't want to act ever again after this. Like, it almost ruined that.
Oh my God.
And I tried to figure out what was so... Because it seems like everyone behind the scenes complains about it, but I can't really figure out like what the problem was, because I watched a video today about some guy kind of getting into it, and he talked about a couple things, but like it never really pinpoints it. But they says this script was like 15 scripts. So they kind of narrowed down into one. So they added a bunch of things, but it seemed like New Line Cinema, they didn't consult Wes Craven at all, but they kind of forced him to give him the rights to it, to do the remake. He was unhappy about that. And then they didn't want to go deviate too far from the original one. Kind of like, Friday the 13th. They didn't want to do anything too weird. They wanted to just make a simple remake. So they covered the exact same beats of it. But they added a big plot twist that people really, really don't like. And we can talk about in a little bit. But then... movie feels like it's on Ambien. Like the movie feels like insomnia. Like everyone just has no energy to them. And then one moment, Quentin Kyler Gallner just starts screaming. I'm like, oh God, people are acting funny.
The screaming. Jesus. She's the blonde one, right?
Yeah, like they stole that from the original movie. The original movie, you don't know that Nancy is the main character because it follows Tina for like the first 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. And then Tina's brutally killed effectively. But in this one, it does the same thing, but then she just dies. And then we go to Nancy, who's like way more boring than the blonde is.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, which is, I think, the problem with the original one too, is I don't think Nancy is interesting. She's kind of like a goody two-shoes and boring. Like, people say that about Laurie Strode in the original Halloween, but at least Laurie Strode tries the pot. And she at least interested in boys. Well, this, like, Nancy in the original one, and this one is kind of like...
Square.
I'm weird, and no one likes me. I'm like, well, that kid wants to fuck you, but you don't want him, so...
That sounds like a personal problem there, bitch.
Yeah, but this is the first time you ever saw this movie, this remake, was for this podcast?
Yes, and it'll be the last time.
Yeah, there's nothing redeeming.
I think when the blonde one is sleeping and then they show like Freddy with the horrible CGI coming out of like above her, and I'm like, oh no, I'm like, this isn't gonna be good at all.
Well, yeah, because they steal that from the original one. In the original one, it's Nancy in both movies. Freddy comes through the wall, and it's like this elastic looking thing. So it's well lit and looks creepy. And this one is just a CGI ghost. It looks just fucking terrible.
Like every like dream sequence where he tries to be scary, it just falls on its face. And like I didn't feel the creepiness to it. It just looked horribly fake, and the audio in it was atrocious. Every time I saw Freddy talk, it just didn't match up. I'm like, and his mouth barely moves the entire time, and like the mask.
Let's talk about Freddy. Let's talk about Freddy because like Jason Voorhees, anybody can be the costume. Nightmare on Elm Street, like all those movies, like Robert Englund is a character. People like the movies, especially as they get later, because they get more goofy and more creative. So, but I don't really have an opinion because I don't really watch those movies. But what'd you think of like Jackie Earle Haley as Freddy Krueger?
This dress was always one of my favorites. Do you remember it, Nancy? Your memories are what fuels me.
No, please don't.
Your mouth says no, but your body says yes.
I didn't care for him at all. I don't know. I think he was the way they did his voice just threw me off the entire time. I couldn't get out of it. And just the way Freddy looked at the CGI, it just threw me off. So like I don't think I can give him a good like shot because this movie was so crappy in the way they did him. But I think what's his face always had like some like charisma but creepy, and they use his actual voice instead of messing it up like post editing or post production. That's why I think it's not fair to judge him on that.
Well, he's doing like a Batman voice. He's at one point he literally says, "Look at me," like he's doing his Rorschach Batman voice because he is the guy who plays Rorschach in the Watchmen.
Don't turn away. Look at me.
My face! Give me back my face!
I don't know if he's trying to do a deep voice like Batman, or they just messed with it so much post make him sound like deeper and creepier. That's why I just can't figure out. It's probably a combination of both, though.
And then, like, they have him in makeup, but then they also have, you can tell there's CGI on the face because they literally put green, like, on to like a CGI more while it's happening. And it looks weird because, like, they try to do, like, his face is melted. So it looks kind of smooth. But to me, it reminds me of like a cat. Yeah, but it reminds me of like a cat. Like, his nose kind of pops out a little bit. So it reminds me of like a cat, and his eyes are kind of like always squinting. So I kept just going meow every time he came up on like screen, and it would make me kind of laugh. So I think like the big plot change doesn't make him fun, and I don't think it makes him creepy, but not in a slasher film creepy that you kind of want. It makes him more like uncomfortable as opposed to like a Freddy Krueger kind of, campy fun, which you could do that. But this movie is so silly that when you make these really dark plot twists and how he kind of touches and talks to Nancy at the end, like, this wasn't the right tone for this to go that dark, which I think you could. I think there's a lot of things that are really messed up, but I don't know. I didn't like it.
Yeah, neither did I. But the one dream sequence, I think it's in the snow, where he's up close next to her and he's like, "My Nancy" or my girl, and I'm like, "Ugh, jeez."
Yeah, and then he like licks her, which is like the reference to like the original one, like the tongue comes through the foam. But no,
and I have a question for you about the original one. I thought in the previous ones or the original ones, don't they kind of hint he is a diddler?
I believe in the original script it was supposed to be more obvious or overt that he was, a diddler, but I think they changed it because it was too dark, and they didn't want, child murder is one thing, but child diddling's a different thing. So I think they cut it back because they knew if you go too far, then you won't enjoy, like that sick kind of enjoyment of like slasher films. You'll be more kind of creeped out. This one said, we're going to do it. We're not going to learn from the history of the first one of why they changed that.
Swing and a miss on this one.
Swing and a miss.
You have nothing to worry about. This won't hurt one little bit.
So we set up our films. There's not much to talk about plot-wise because they're just remakes, and the changes from my movie, at least, we'll talk about in a second. So Dan and I talked about 5 criteria to judge a slasher remake, because the big thing we wanted to ask is, which of these movies suck less? So I have 5 criteria that we're going to talk about, and then from there we'll each just kind of vote which one does it better. and that will be like our winner of the shitty remakes.
It might already be apparent, but I like to go through the 5 just to show positives and cons for both side by side at least.
Oh no, we're gonna make it worth it here. So my first criteria question to you, Dan, is which of these movies respects the lore of the franchise better? And that could be like the character backstory, or it could be like the rules of the backstory. Like, which one respects the lore better?
I'm gonna go with Friday the 13th on this one. Because it doesn't go too far. The remake for Friday the 13th, it understands it's just Jason in the woods, and it keeps that simple homage to it. It's got the cabin kills, it's got the creative kills, it talks about his mom still, it's got the typical stoner, the boobies, and it understands Jason's place in a movie, and it keeps it that way. And if you're comparing it to Nightmare on Elm Street, they went too far and tried to change stuff up, like we just talked about him being a diddler. As long as they didn't change, the only positive for Nightmare on Elm Street, they didn't change it where he can come out of dreams. Thank God. Like, oh no, he can. He's actually a real being again. He can kill you in person.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with you as well. I'm gonna go with the Friday the 13th. You mentioned Jason. It's dumb, but they don't. Everything they change is just taking kind of like the pieces that everyone likes from the other movies and puts it in one movie. And this one, like in the original Nightmare on Elm Street, Nancy has that confrontation with Freddy and says, "You can't hurt me. Like, your power is only in the dreams." This one completely abandons that because Freddy says to her at the end, I just rewatched it, unfortunately, your memories are what gives me fuel because you remember me, which doesn't make any sense because they totally forgot about.
So then how did it all of a sudden,
I don't know. We don't get to know much about like Dean, the first kid killed. He just kind of starts dreaming about it, but like there's no start to it. That's why Freddy wants them to remember is the memories give him power as opposed to the dreams. So it's like half-baked and unclear. And like you already mentioned, if they make him a diddler. And I think in a different movie, that would be a totally different, creepy, like maybe A24 kind of nightmare vibe where like your slasher does that. It's like, you know, a real, like I guess you look at like John Wayne Gacy or like your Ed Gein's, people that are like this weird sexual kind of psychosexual thing to it that could be really creepy. But if you're making a silly slasher movie about a guy who attacks you in your dreams, don't make him a diddler. It's just it's one step into reality too far for a fantastical horror film.
And I'll say this though, Freddy is probably the scariest of like all of these like slasher villains because like everyone has to sleep at some point. Like it's your body has to, and there's not too much you can do, so you have to face him at some point. As opposed to Friday the 13th, just don't go to Camp Crystal Lake, or if you're looking at the Halloween, just move out of Haddonfield, or if you're Laurie Strode, as long as you're not related to or around Laurie Strode, you're fine.
Yeah, Freddy Freddy feels like he has plans, like he schemes and plans these kills, while the other ones are more kind of brutish, kind of relentless monsters. So that's why people like Freddy. So like that's cool. Like I'm not the expert. I watched both movies. I did research behind the scenes of them, but I don't. Friday the 13th never really interested me because I also don't like slashers. But yeah, okay. So Jason wins the lore. Next, we have unique or gory kills. I'll go first. Friday the 13th obviously wins because.
Oh man, I thought it was so much closer, Ron. Come on.
Because at least in the first 20 minutes, I feel like the first 20 minutes of the Friday the 13th remake is pure gold. Like they have the girl in the sleeping bag, They cut off like the guy's ear and has a machete through his face. Jason just slices and dices through these kids amazingly. I think towards the middle, it doesn't have his creative kills. They kind of ran out of like their creative ideas. Maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong there, but
they got the bow and arrow, I guess, or the one she's hiding under the boat, and then also the one she's hiding under she's hiding under like the walkway in the water.
Mm-hmm.
And he slices her head like with the bow or the knife, I guess. Yeah, something different. Like
the bow made me laugh. I was like, how the fuck does Jason aim that art, like make that shot? He's like fucking Legolas, but like it made me laugh. But I like the result. The result was that boat hit that bitch in the face. That was awful. It was like, ugh,
I went, oh my god.
Yeah, so I like that. And then Freddy and Nightmare on Elm Street, the kills are all stolen from the original one, but they're done like Freddy, like literal, like it. I think it's embarrassing. My favorite scene in the original Freddy, the Nightmare on Elm Street, is when Tina's going up the wall and they're like slashing her, and it's like creepy, and she's like rolling against the wall and blood's everywhere, and she's like, it's really uncomfortable because she just like can't control what's happening to her. And we're watching in horror, and this one, the girl's flying around the room like a shitty, scary movie.
I kept saying concussed, 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 concussed.
And it just makes me giggle because she's like flying around like a shitty like horror comedy, and then just one quick slice, she's done. It's just like they fucked that up, and then they kill the kid in the original Nightmare on Elm Street. I think it's Paul. He hangs himself, and this one, Freddy bursts through his chest, but there's no entrance wound, just an exit wound. And my wife and I she was kind of watching, and she goes, that guy who's in the prison cell with him is now traumatized. And he goes,
"Oh, I know." I thought that was funny.
I was laughing.
Fuck! I was in here for a drug charge. Now I'm fucked.
And it sucks too because, like in the dream version, Freddy says the human brain can stay alive for 7 minutes. We're gonna have fun, and then it just cuts. It doesn't show him cutting them up.
That's
or
what.
anything.
Okay, I forgot to mention that. I'm like, what the fuck? Like. Did he diddle him some more? Is that what they're implying?
Did you know that after the heart stops beating, the brain keeps functioning for well over 7 minutes? Huh. We got 6 more minutes to play.
Bon appetit, bitch.
I don't. Well, I mean, like you could keep cutting him up or no. I don't know. They don't really show Freddy reveling in the violence. Yeah. It's all sexual. It's all uncomfortable and sexual.
It's too far.
Yeah, but what about you, Dan? Who wins the most unique or gory kills?
I think you hit it on the nail. It's for sure Friday the 13th. And you mentioned that like the boat one was like you laughed. And like there's several of the kills like in this entire franchise we just kind of laughed to and at his kills because they're creative and they're stupid sometimes.
But that's okay because Friday the 13th was never like highbrow horror. It was just like a mindless zombie is just killing for revenge because it doesn't like titties and weed. It just wants to kill because it's there. It's like a ravaged animal. It's like an animal, like a dog with like rabies. It's just like it can't really control itself. It's just kind of going for the kill, or it's like when elephants get like musk, like they just can't control their actions. They're just kind of going crazy.
Yeah, stay out of Camp Crystal Lake. That's all. Jason just wants his property.
Okay, our third criteria. Our third criteria is characters. Slasher movies aren't really known for their characters, Dan, but like that's kind of the whole thing. Is maybe the question is who has the least annoying characters, or maybe who does something interesting with the cast of characters. So who would be your vote for Like how you want to take that question there. Which one has better characters or does something better with the characters?
That's a great question. I don't know any of the characters' names at all from the remake for both of them, I don't think. Which that's not a good sign for either one. But I think I'll give it to Jason or Friday the 13th because the guy's just looking for his sister and you kind of feel bad. And you're in the beginning, you're just like, oh, the bitch is probably dead. And then they finally show her briefly, like, oh, okay, so now there's motivation for him and everyone else, not just to escape, but to get the sister out of there. But any other, like, watching all of these Friday the 13th movies I've seen before, I only know Alice, and that's it. I don't know any of their actual character names. I think that's in Friday the 13th. I don't remember any of their names. Like, even watching it, I'm like, who's who? Because people die so quickly.
Yeah, I think there's an Alice in the original Friday the 13th, and then I think in Halloween as well, or it's Annie. Goddamn, like these. There's no well, they're all a bunch of white kids too. So like there's no like ethnically diverse names. They're all just Frank, Alice, Dean, Nancy, Shane. They're all a bunch of whiteys, and I just don't know like who the fuck is who. Like they're so forgettable.
Some of the worst names, like Shane. It's horrible. Yeah.
Yeah, like if you name your kid Shane, it's like the most forgettable. Like, and you're just gonna die in a horror film. Like, simple as that.
Yeah, mental problems to name your kid Shane. Yeah,
for sure. Sexual deviancy, for sure.
Possible diddler. Who knows?
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Thank you. Yeah.
I guess you. I think Jason wins again because I don't like the original Nancy, and in this one, she's like a no. She has like no charisma at all. And Rumi Mara is a good actress. She's in the girl with the dragon tattoo, and she's excellent. And then this one, maybe she didn't have any good direction. But Nancy's boring. Quentin sucks. I think the blonde is not a good actress, but what they do with her is more interesting. But they're all like, I know they're like sleep deprived, but God, they just feel like they're on pills. Like they feel like they're just a bunch of like Ambien takers. So I'm gonna give it to Friday the 13th just because, like you said, at least they have some kind of backstory where like this guy's looking for his sister. I don't really care about them because you don't see anything. They do more telling than showing. The girl goes in the beginning, "My mom's sick. I shouldn't be here." The boyfriend says, "No, you should be here so we can fuck." And she goes, "Okay."
Yeah.
And then the
brother's
like,
"You convinced me."
you got me. And then the brother's like, "I'm not a good brother. My sister's a good sister. I must be here because she's a good sister and she wouldn't abandon our dead mom." So, Sam Winchester, like they don't give him anything to do, but at least he's kind of like, whatever. The characters suck though. Like all the characters are douchebag idiots in your movie. Like,
I hated all of them. Like I don't. I hope these all. I hope like the second group. I'm like, I hope they all die. I just don't care.
Yeah, like the black guy and the Asian kid are just like getting stoned and drunk, which is like, that's fine. We know they're gonna die anyways. The one blonde who is fearless and goes full frontal. Actually, all the women, like, good for them. Like, they're not embarrassed. They have no like qualms. They're okay. They know what movie they're in. They signed up for it. They're okay with it. But like, they don't have any characters. The one boyfriend's a douchebag, so you're just like, well, he's gonna die. Obviously, we're waiting for that to happen. But they're all cardboard cutout characters for horror. So I think really none of these movies deserve the win. But I'll take 2 character developments over none. So. Once again, for the 13th.
I'm seeing a trend here, Ron.
Okay. The fourth criteria we have is either fixes a mistake from the original. We're thinking about remakes. Can the remake fix a mistake? Or does it add a positive change whatsoever to like the film? I'll go first.
Yeah, this is a tough one.
Looking at Nightmare on Elm Street, the one thing they add is this idea of micro naps. I think it's a cool kind of change of like you're sleep deprived too long, your body will start shutting down. I don't think they do anything good with it at all. They actually they change it like the parents, I guess like they show them killing Freddy, but they do this terrible thing, this terrible plot point where they want us to think that notorious killer Freddy Krueger in 30 years of lore might be an innocent victim by lying 5-year-olds that accused him of doing some diddling. And then there's like an entire 20-minute plots where these kids think that Freddy's innocent. I'm like, why would you think that when he's trying to kill you with knives? And they almost like justify his terrible behavior of killing their friends because their parents killed them.
You killed Krueger.
Where'd you hear that name?
You chased him, you cornered him, and you burned him to death. You hunted him!
We did not hunt him. We were protecting.
From what?
From him. From what he did to you. From what you kids told us he
We were
did.
5! We would have said anything! Why didn't you go to the police?
You were so young.
No, God, and the things we said he did. The cave? Did you ever find it?
No.
How do you know he was guilty?
Oh my God.
You killed an innocent man.
And they make him a diddler. And it's awful. So by just that alone, that sucks a bag of fucking knives. So I'm getting into Friday the 13th. Just for the fact that they did a terrible, terrible change. And the only thing I would change about the original Nightmare on Elm Street would be like the last part of it kind of drags. But in this one, they go to the diddle hut, the diddle cave, and they confront him there in this tiny, gross, stupid, like little sex dungeon. And it just sucks. It's just awful. So Friday the 13th, by just the sheer it not being as terrible, I'm giving it to Friday the 13th.
They didn't fuck it up. How about that? But they win based off that.
Yeah.
Yeah. A question on that, like, why doesn't, because since they made him the diddler, why isn't he just killing the parents now?
Well, that's the thing that doesn't make sense, is because
yeah,
like in the original Friday the 13th, the mom and the dad, the mom's an alcoholic. They don't say it, but they really show it, and their marriage is like falling apart because like they killed this guy, and it's like weighing heavily on this mom. In this movie, the parents are like, yeah, we're just gonna pretend like nothing bad happened. And I kind of like noticed it the second time. They're all single parents. And I don't know that's intentional, because maybe if you murder a child diddler, like you might feel weird about it. Because like at some point, Clancy Brown says, there's not a day that goes by I don't think about killing Fred Krueger, as if they have regrets kind of thing. But if like you even remotely suspect that your child's getting diddled, I don't know. I feel like you might be justified in burning that motherfucker down. And he's wearing like a creepy like Dexter in the second season wig, so he kind of deserves to be killed just for that wig alone. But
yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I don't know. Like there's this guilt that runs through the original one, and this one they don't look guilty. They look like fine parents who are just happy that their kids are not being diddled anymore. But in
like
that
the
one,
one's a teacher, like whatever Clancy's like just a principal, and he's like, "Come on, gotta go to class, let's go."
Yeah, they're all chill with it. Why the fuck did they not move out of Springfield? Like, why the fuck would they possibly live in the same place where they're reminded all the time that their kids were attacked, and they potentially, they think, murdered an innocent man? Why would you not immediately move?
They tried to go to Haddonfield, but the real estate there is like it's not doable there.
Joke of the podcast.
Yay. That's all I got for you. See you later.
Okay, but besides it not being Nightmare on Elm Street remake, why does Friday the 13th, what is there any kind of mistake or positive change that you think they kind of add to the film?
I'm trying to think of a mistake. Yeah, what's your mistake? How about that? You have a mistake for Friday the 13th?
Hate the fact that that like it's just slow. It's slow, and like Friday the 13th isn't Halloween to me. There's no technical interest of it being made, and then Michael Myers is creepy, and we see him the entire time, so we feel like that dread is there. He's always stalking them. In this one, they can't show a grandma the entire time, so there's no real clear idea who the killer is. There's no like real dread, and it's slow. So this one just gets right into it, doesn't fuck around, and just takes all these really cool ideas that people like and puts it into one. So that's what be that alone.
It keeps it going.
It's positive.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's got the perfect balance of like up here, get a kill, make it creepy, and then slow it down for a bit. Because you can't just do slash the entire time. You're gonna unless you're gonna have amazing kills every time. But yeah, I would. It's more entertaining to watch than especially like the first one, second one, and third one of the original.
Yeah.
But I agree. That one goes to Friday the 13th again.
God, I couldn't even think of a category that might give Nightmare on Elm Street at least one one little thing. Nothing at all. Okay.
You could say, or give Nightmare on Elm Street a win.
Yeah, like can you think of anything that it beats out this movie?
Oh yeah, more use of CGI.
Apparently, there is CGI in Friday the 13th. Like the weapons are CGI, but I didn't notice it when I was watching it.
Nah.
No.
That was better CGI than is probably Friday the 13th, but the more use of it is Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh God, yeah, it's used to a detriment.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's shitty.
Okay, last criteria question here. I think we have a clear winner, but just in case there's any, misgivings, the last criteria
for Friday the 13th can go a sweep.
Yeah, it'll cut off the leg of Nightmare on Elm Street. Which movie has the best tits?
Oh, that one's easy. More or best?
Yes.
That's a clear-cut winner. I think this was Shane. I think Shane picked this category, even though he's not here.
This is the category in honor of Shane.
Obviously, it's Friday the 13th.
Why is that?
Because there's more, and they're, I guess, better, quote unquote. And it's a decent amount, but I think it's that 2000s age for remakes. Obviously, that they had to show nudity for all of these, just for all the teens watching it.
They know what we want. Yes. In honor of Shane, I give this movie 2 boobs. Friday the 13th wins this one because just for the sake of characters just are naked, just to be naked. Like in the beginning, the girl lifts her top up to like incite her boyfriend to start talking about pot to her nerd guy and go bang her in the tent. And then the girl's on the jet skis topless, and then the most excessive sex scene with the best dialogue ever written in history.
Oh, it's good. I was going to mention that. Jesus. I'm like, oh my God.
Your tits are fucking just...
I know.
So juicy, dude. You got perfect nipple placement, baby. This better not go on the fucking internet. These would win in a fucking titty contest.
Your tits are stupendous. You have really good nipple placement.
I think I said that. I told my broad. I think I'm going to start saying that to you now.
Your tits are stupendous. Oh my God.
Great
it's
nipple
like,
placement.
It's like unabashed and hilarious. So I just was laughing the entire time that was happening there. But top tier, there's no sex or tits at all in Nightmare on Elm Street.
Not even close.
How's this for a wet dream?
There's nothing. It's prudish, which is like, it's fine. The slasher movies don't need to have them, but they need to have at least something, which is nothing. That movie has nothing. It sucks. But the original Nightmare on Elm Street has sex. I'm not sure if it has like nudity, but it has definitely that 80s when girls walk around constantly without bras on kind of thing. Going for it. So that's your jam. But
even Freddy versus Jason had one, I think.
Aren't you gonna help the kid?
Can't you see I'm busy here?
You mean you're not coming?
It's not my fault this bitch is dead on her feet.
Yeah, I have not seen it since I was a teenager, so I didn't. It probably would have been funny to like watch it because we're doing our own Little Bit Freddy versus Jason remake version, but yeah, I didn't rewatch that.
I was going
Was it
to
good?
for shits and
Oh, you didn't?
I know I was going to for shits and giggles, but I didn't want to pay for it. I'm like, nah.
That's the best review of Freddy vs. Jason. It's not worth paying for.
I think I watched it last year, like the first half, and then I got sidetracked. Probably took a nap or something. But yeah, nah. Maybe that'll be next year is like a rewatch or a commentary track.
Oh God. Okay. So Dan, I made you do this. I made you do this for like our Halloween kind of slasher remake, and I apologize for doing that, for kind of torturing you 2 podcasts in a row. But let's close out with I don't know. Are there any horror remakes that you do kind of enjoy that you'd recommend people
That are not
watch?
these two?
That are not these two, and maybe if like they still got the
Oh.
the Halloween kind of buzz and want to watch some good horror like remakes, what would be a good horror remake?
The most recent Hellraiser that came out, I think in 2020 or 2021. That one I liked that one. That was pretty good. I need to rewatch that. My only complaint on that is that it's too fucking dark. I can't see anything going on.
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch that one?
I think I fell asleep and didn't really watch it. So no.
That one's good. It's got some gore in it, and it's like creepy. It doesn't go over the top on stuff. That's a good remake. The first remake of the Halloween that was done by the one you tried to watch your wife to. That one I like that one. But the 2 after that, the 2 after that suck. So no.
Obviously, the Rob Zombie Halloween you'd recommend.
Oh fuck no! The screaming, Jesus Christ, everything about that sucks. Or it's got boobs in it. So I know Shane liked those.
Yeah.
What about you?
There's a one on Amazon Prime from a few years ago called Suspiria. It's a remake of an old Italian movie, which I never seen, but I watched the remake of it. It's like a phenomenally like weird, messed up kind of film about like witches in a dance academy. I loved it. It's 2.5 hours long, so I don't think I can recommend anyone on this podcast to watch it, but it is like beyond like frightening and uncomfortable, and it builds up to its crazy ending. So I love that movie. The Hills Have Eyes remake is really uncomfortable and like the wrong way. So there's that one.
I think I watched that with my dad put it on, and I think I was traumatized for a bit after watching that.
He should be arrested for that.
Yeah.
The Evil Dead remake is
really
violent,
I remember that one. Oh shoot, yeah,
really violent and got a lot of good energy. to it, so that's kind of worth it if you like your gore. Nosferatu, like that one's phenomenal. Like I talked about that one before. Yeah, those are some kind of ones I'd recommend that are actually good that people don't like obviously like The Thing or The Fly we've talked about before. Those are good remakes, but yep, that's
Aliens.
Alien Earth. But no, that's kind of it. I kind of want to just do a little short podcast talking about 2 shitty remakes to kind of do some more horror movie watching. But that's kind of it, Dan. Anything?
Well, this will come out in November, so it's kind of like a slashing.
Oh, there you go.
Podcast. This wasn't miserable. Yeah.
As long as you don't watch Thanksgiving, that turkey horror one.
I think I watched that.
I couldn't
a long time ago.
I paid money for it, and I had to finish it because I spent money on it. But man, it was hard to get through an 80-minute terrible slasher. Like not even funny bad, just bad.
That's the one where the turkey like rapes a girl, right? Or oops, sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
Did he diddle the girl? I don't remember, but I know that the turkey's a killer.
Yeah, I think he has sex with a girl, and the girl doesn't realize it's a turkey.
No, but I don't remember what happens in it. Like I remember watching it and going, "Oh no!" Like it's just like one of those. It's like people know they're making a bad movie, so there's no like fun, and like the incompetence is just intentionally incompetent. Did you ever see the Thanksgiving one, the Eli Roth kind of horror one, where it's like a slasher film for Thanksgiving?
No, I didn't.
You should watch that this holiday season. You'll like it because it's got enough gore to make it worth it, and then you can play the game. Can you guess who the killer is? Because I guessed the killer from the trailer, and when I watched it, I was like, "Oh, cool, I got it."
I'm so good at guessing what's gonna happen or like the killer is. My wife gets mad at me for that.
So then, in our Christmas podcast, we'll come back to it and see if you guessed it. You should watch it. That'll be your homework. Watch Thanksgiving for Thanksgiving, and then tell me if you can guess who the killer is.
How about I just watch the trailer and then I can just say who I think it is?
There you go. Okay.
I got one more shout out.
Yeah.
Shout out to the people that created the Friday the 13th video game. It's no longer active anymore, and that game was so much fun. My wife and I played that. I got her into it. Really good, creative game. You can play as Jason, killing these campers, or it can be a counselor, or you can play as a counselor and try to survive Jason. That game was awesome. Rest in peace to that game, though.
Yeah, we played it together a couple of times, and I was so bad at it, but just like watching like the design and the game itself, I'm like, this is really cool. It's a really cool game.
It was so detailed. Yeah.
Then I think they replaced it with like Dead by Daylight or Dead by Dawn now, right? Is like the new kind of like the replacement of that.
Yeah. But it was like a crowdfunded game, and it got it, and it was just so well made. It had so many like little things to for the movie. You can play as like all the different Jasons in it, like Jason 1 from each movie, and they had Tommy Jarvis come at the end, and you could kill Jason by a crazy way. You had to have a girl counselor go to the lair, get the mom's sweatshirt. You had to have Tommy Jarvis come in, and then Tommy Jarvis had to kill him with an axe at the end. So a cool little like game, yeah.
A good way of kind of like using like the lore and kind of stuff.
So good.
To make
the music in it. Oh yeah, it was rest in peace to that game. Disappointed when it went bye.
Oh, so I also forgot too. I wanted to mention this. They just gave Robert Englund, original Freddy Krueger, his Hollywood star on the Walk of Fame. So there you go.
Oh, good for him. Like, we missed him in the remake.
Yeah, they recasted him for the better. in our opinions, obviously. But yeah, people love Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm not the biggest fan because I hated the original one, but maybe next year we might be doing a deep dive onto a different franchise.
No, we're gonna do Friday the 13th first, so I can torture you and Shane.
There's no chance in hell we're ever gonna do the Friday the 13th movies.
Or we should do a Jason X commentary track. That'd be fun.
I will give you 90 minutes of another Friday the 13th movie. That's all I will give you.
That one's stupid, but okay.
Okay. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this, subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram at Podcast Versus Potential. If you're interested, reach out to us and we can collaborate. Somewhat recently, I was on Spoilers Podcast for talking about the movie Weapons, and that was really fun. At some point a while ago, but they're editing it now. Big Dumb Movie. R.I.P. Corey's Instagram. I was on there, so they'll be releasing a podcast that I was on that I don't want to spoil just yet. And then I was also recently on, I'm looking for the name because I fucked up the name last time.
Yeah, my schedule for high demand for podcast is growing, so if you want me on a podcast, talk to my agent. So we'll figure something out within the next year or two.
Okay. I'm also was on It's Time to Rewind with an excellent podcaster named Bubba Wheat, where they kind of do super deep dives, like in like 5 to 8 minute increments. We did it on Happy Death Day. That was a fun podcast, so check that out. If you really care, if you actually enjoy what we're doing and talking about here, give us a review on like Spotify or Apple. We appreciate that. We do this for the love of yelling and drinking together, not for all that money we're making though. So that's it. Dan, anything to take us out with, or wrap this up with something silly or goofy?
That's all I got.
And we're out. You're in my glass half full now, bitch. That's the best one I could think of for an introduction.
That's you can't say anything for Jason because he doesn't talk.
I was gonna say, Dan, do your best Jason impression. Perfect.
Yes. Kill him, Jason. Please, mommy.
Oh my god. Okay. Are you ready?
No. Yeah, I'm good now.
Are you coughing? Are you like vaping in between pauses?
No, I told you I'm like getting sick. Yeah.
Oh my god, disgusting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wish I was hungover from last night, but no, it's just I'm sick.
I was gonna ask how late were you up celebrating because the Blue Jays lost?
Yeah, I'm anti-Canada, obviously, and I'm not a fan of anything else. Yeah.
It just made me giggle.
Celebrate, so I watched everything.
It made me laugh because they kept like showing Drake at all the Canada home games, and then like LA kicks his ass one more time. It's just like a one more kind of thing. Like Drake's had a bad 2 years.
Well, when I saw Drake there's the stupid Drake curse. If Drake puts like a jersey or is at your game, like you're gonna lose.
Okay. Here we go.
Nice.
No. Say no. Or say nope. Kind of like you did an Alien. That was just like the funniest thing ever.
Oh, okay.
Here, I'll set up again. Okay, Dan.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, Dan. Take us out of here with something awesome, amazing, hilarious.
I'm okay.
And we're out.